Good morning, Raphael. How you doing? You well?
Good morning. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Good. We're here to talk about your new show. There's a new show, right? A new series. And you're doing this one with your son, Taury, I understand. It's called
Ex-con Carpenters.
Yes, sir. You took the name right out of my mouth. Just for people who didn't quite catch that, it's X Con Carpenters, which airs on the Crime and Investigation channel, amongst others. I must
That's
put
right.
out there on April the 1st. But this ain't no joke, though, is it, Raphael?
The number of people that have said that to me. What is it, April Fool's? I said, no, it's not a joke. It's really out on the 1st of April. And yes, I've worked with my son since he was about 12. And we've got although in those days it was hard work because he was heading to be in one of those stereotypical today's youth. And I thought, no, I'm not having that. So I made him come to work with me. And over the years, since he's been about 20, let's say the first 12 years was hard work to get him to where he is today. But after that, from the time he reached about 20, 25, 26, it's been a blessing to work with him. It's like working with a friend, a brethren, although it's still father and son relationship at times, we just click, we just work well together. And we have jokes and banter and thing, as the white boys would say.
No, that's good. It's nice. It's nice to see, man. We don't see a lot of representation that way on TV,
Yeah.
if at all, to be honest with you. So it's nice to see. Tell, I guess the name of the show gives away what you guys are going to be doing, but speak a little bit more about the details of the show, because ex-con carpenters. I know you're an accomplished carpenter and joiner.
Yeah.
You said you worked with your son for a long time. I'm assuming it's with wood.
That's right. Yeah, he's a carpenter in his own rights now, and the whole point of the show, ex-con carpenters, it doesn't mean we're the ex-cons, as some people keep making the joke, the reference. It's about people that have, let's say, life hasn't gone their way, and for whatever reason, they have a little bump in the road, they get dragged into a situation that didn't need to go in, something went wrong, and they may have, or usually they end up in jail. Now, you'd think at that point, a lot of people give up and the system breaks them. But these people, they found a way to turn it round and make good come from their given predicament. And that's what this program's about. So while we're interviewing them, because that's what it's about, me and my son, we interview these said people, and they're telling us this story. Some of the stories are real heartfelt, and they're telling us their stories, but at the same time, we're creating something so that they can have like a make piece, something to give someone who's close to them or someone they may have done wrong, or anything like that. So it's good viewing, because I'll tell you what, during the making of it, it gripped me, because there were points in it where I thought to myself, well, if that was me, I don't know if I would be where you are today, because I wouldn't have been as forgiving. I'm just thinking of one particular story. I wouldn't have been as forgiving, so I don't think I'd be where you are today. So you are a much better person than me. You're good. And yeah, I would say all the people we interviewed, we're friends with all of them now. We developed a camaraderie, a friendship, and every one of those stories touched you in some way, shape, or form, because you could have seen it could happen to absolutely any one of us. And that's the show in a nutshell.
How long have you been in the trade, Raphael? I know that
Uh,
you've kind of flitted about. You're known as the fixer. You kind of solve everything off camera. You said you're one of those people that can turn their hand to everything. So how did you get in and stay in the trade? And did you see it transitioning one day to where you are now, TV and all of the rest of it?
you know what's weird? I've been knocking things about since I was a kid. We used to make, when I was a kid, we used to make goat carts and stuff like that. And then while I was while at secondary school, there were times when during the holidays and break periods, I'd go and work on building site. I mean, I know kids can't do that these days, but you get they call you in, say, "Oh, mister, you got any work?" And you go and do some work with these boys, shoveling sand and cement. Don't matter what it is, picking up rubbish. But I was quite adept. I'd see someone do something and I could do it. and I was quite adaptable. And I'd borrow some of my dad's tools. I'd go and start knocking nails or denailing bits of timber and straightening up the nails in them days. And it just progressed from there. And then when I left school at 16, you'd have thought I'd go and be an apprentice, but no, I went and did all sorts of things. Meanwhile, I was still being a carpenter, but it hadn't, because I just liked doing it. It didn't, I don't know what it was. Maybe something in my head just didn't connect, you know. I didn't think of doing it as a career. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that I decided, do you know what, I should do this serious. And how I got into that, quick story, is I used to work for London Transport. And I ended up London Transport because I lost my driving license. And I thought to myself, well, the best way around the system is to work for them. Then I don't have to pay for my travel. And while I was there, I'm trying to cut this short story down short. While I was there, one of the guys I used to work with said to me, you'll get married, you'll get a house, and you know, you'll be one of the boys and you'll be here and you'll retire. And he's giving me the whole London Transport story. I was still young, blood was pumping. And I looked around and I thought to myself, I don't want to be one of these broken down, grey looking man. No. And I went and gave my notice in. And I was determined to become a carpenter from that day. So I enrolled in college, started my apprenticeship, and I've been doing it ever since. I worked for the council for a while. Then I took redundancy and started working for myself. But in those days, because my face was so fresh, because they used to call me babyface back in the day, because my face was so fresh, no one believed I could do the things I used to say I could do. And for example, I'd come to your house and you'd say, oh, we want a cupboard. But I don't just want to give you a cupboard. Let's make it, let's do this. And if we put a secret compartment here, and I'd got carried away because I wanted to give people as much as I possibly could for what they want. And I lost a few jobs. I don't want to even go on the race side, but that was an element. So I lost some jobs, maybe because I overspoke. So I started taking photographs. And this is back in the 80s, you know, no one did them things. I've got thousands of photos of the jobs that I used to do. So the previous job would get me the next job and so on and so forth. And yeah, I've been a carpenter, what's that, 40, coming on 50 years now. So yeah.
Did you see it transition into TV though?
Right, now the TV, no, television was never my intention. This all happened by accident. And because a friend, someone that knows me on Facebook, passed my name onto a TV company for someone they wanted a carpenter for a reality show. And they was calling me right now. I'm running a job. I was doing a refurb, an extension to a property. And they're calling me and I'm busy. I'm telling man, I got to go and get material. I got to order for this man. I got to clean up that. I got to go to the next job. I got people call. I was under stress. I was pressured. And I get this call. How do you fancy going away for a year? And look, listen, I ain't got time for games. So I hung up the phone. They call me back. I'm thinking someone's playing pranks on me. So I kept hanging up. Anyway, this went on for a good 24 hours. The next day they called me. I thought, let me just listen. Let me just hear what this person's got to say. So what are you saying to me? And they're telling me the drama with going away, doing a reality show in the middle of nowhere. It'll be a year. I'm thinking, do you know what? I quite like the sound of this. I'm going to test myself because I'm a city boy. I ain't never done nothing outside the city. I ain't never done no camping, nothing like that. I always leave that to my white friends. I don't do them kind of things. I like city life. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure. I'm always running up my mouth. When I watch programs on telly, say, oh, I could do that. I could do that. So I thought to myself, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is. Let's have some. And I said, yeah, all right, I'm up. I'm game for that. I asked my missus. At first, she was no. Then she said, you know what? If you want to do it, have a go. So I went, not with the intention to be on telly, with the intention to test myself in the given situation. Because it was a reality show where we literally had to start again. We never had nothing except the tools that we take with us, sleeping bag, a little bit of munchies to get you through a couple of days, and that was it. Nothing else. When we got there, it was just muddy terrain, rain. Oh my days. It was a nightmare. But anyway, that was a start. And In that
Was that Eden? Are you talking about Eden? Yeah.
that was Eden, yes.
Right. Right. Mm.
And that's where it started. So I ended up on Eden, and when I came out, because I'd made friends with one of the producers, she got me in touch with someone who then got me in touch with someone else, and it kind of snowballs. But I would say, I have to mention this, I would say I am where I am now currently because of a guy named Daniel Parr who linked me up with Julia, and Julia's done most of the work for where I am presently.
You're talking about your
My
agent, right?
agent, yeah, my agent, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I'm not,
Julia.
again, sorry, I'm not one of these people. I'm not chasing it. I mean, I should really put more effort into it. And because I'm at retirement age, I can't be bothered to chase it. If it happens, it happens. If it happens, it was meant to be, but I'm not going to go and chase it. I'm enjoying my life. So I live each day doing what it is that's going to please me for that day. And if something comes up, I'll have a go. And that's currently how things have been going for me. Things just seem to fall in my lap at a given time, and I'll just take it up. My brother says, say yes to everything. So that's what I'm doing.
What's the background, Raphael? Where are you from? Where's your family from? Where'd you grow up? Talk a little bit about your younger self.
Okay. Well, my dad is Russian. My mum's Antiguan. Been to both places. Grew up in Hackney. I'm a Hackney boy, born and bred. Love me pie and mash and stuff. Went to school in Stokey. I also went to school in Shoreditch, where I was like the only black face around back in the 60s. I spent most of my life was up in Hackney. My secondary school was Upton House, which no longer exists. It's an academy, a fancy looking building now. And I would say up to the age of about 13, I was a black white boy. And then when I got to 13, another friend of mine who happens to be named Danny, he called me. He was on one side of the street, I was on the other side. I have to credit him because I might not be the person I am today had it not been for him. He called me over and he said to me, why are you always hanging about with them white boys? And I looked across the road because the race thing was happening, but for whatever reason, I was just letting it wash over me. And I looked across the road and I thought to myself, I never even thought about that, And it was like a light bulb moment for me. And from that day, my life kind of turned around. So I became more black orientated. Although I still have white friends, I'm not separating. But yeah, that was a changing point for me at the age of 13. I became more black aware, let's say.
What other pivotal points have you had in your journey, in your career that have steered you?
Pivotal points. Funny one would be when I was 18. Right. The thing with me is, I'm just giving you a bit more. The thing with me is, I'm not one of these people. I don't chase life. I'm quite happy to do whatever it is I do. If I'm sweeping, I'm going to do it to my best. It doesn't matter what it is I do. I'm just going to do it and enjoy it. Anyway, I used to work in McDonald's back in the day. There was 5 McDonald's in the whole country. And I used to love working in there. This is when I was 18. And I was working with all my schoolmates, all the guys I used to rave with when we used to go Global Village and 100 Club and all of them things. It was all about the rave. That was all I was interested in, nothing else. And I would have been, the mentality I had in those days, I would have been quite content to just live that life, But then all my friends, they were definitely a step above me because they were progressing and moving on to better things. Whereas me, let me just show you. I was quite happy to be McDonald's best grill man. To this day, I've still got it. It says McDonald's presented to Raphael Meade, best grill man, December 18.
When was that? When was that?
This is 1978. I won this for being McDonald's best grill man. We used to have 36 beef patties on the grill. I can still do it today, 36 beef patties. We had a thing called Turn CLA. But anyway, my point is, I just loved it. And why I'm saying it's a pivotal point is because I used to walk around like Lord Muck in McDonald's until rush hour. Raph, get on the grill, rush hour. And I turn my grill on, wipe it down, get ready. and I was off. I was on one. So it's a pivotal point in that it just made me feel special, you know. And a lot of things like that. I've had lots of incidents where like that where I've just been the special one at the time.
What are you hoping that people get from watching this series?
To think, to open your mind to the fact that that could be me. Each episode is different in the stories and the crime that was committed, or the so-called crime that was committed. And I'm sure each episode, someone out there is going to say, wow, that could have been me, you know. Look, that could have easily happened to me. And I'm hoping that people open their minds to the fact that just because you may have gone to jail doesn't make you, let's say, a criminal. It just means you served time for something that you did wrong. It doesn't make you a criminal, because some of them shouldn't have gone to jail. That's what I'm saying. And it's
I
easy.
appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, go.
Yeah, it could easily happen to any one of us. You know when they say, "There for the grace of God go I." Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Each one of them episodes that we did, something within it, I thought, wow, that could have been me, you know. I've done that, or I've been there, I've seen this. Oh, wow. So yeah, it was an eye opener for me. And the fact that they turned their lives around and made good of their given situations, fantastic. That's all I got to say.
Well, thanks for your time, Raphael. I really appreciate it. I'm looking at your PR images here, and I'm looking at you, and you mentioned earlier that you were referred to as Babyface. How old are you, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 62.
And wearing it well, might I add.
Thank you very much.
There's going to be people who are looking at this thinking, well, what's his secret then? I know you've always looked young, but what cream are you using, brother?
Do you know what it is? For me, again, as I said, I'm just a happy-go-lucky person, and I'm quite content to do whatever. I'm not a social status chaser. I'm quite content in whatever it is I do, and I try not to bog myself down with bad news and stuff. And I'm very much half full. Doesn't matter what. I think this irritates my wife, actually. It don't matter what the given situation, there's always something good that can come from it. I don't care what it is. Death, something good's going to come. You can get something good out of everything. That's what I believe, and that's how I wear it. That's how I feel. So,
Thanks for your time, brother. I really appreciate it. Continued success, man.
bless every time.